friends. This obviously doing a live Blitz chess game commentary. Uh, Looks like we're playing E2. It's a pretty cool name. Um, what is this? It's kind of an odd opening actually. I guess like an English, um, symmetrical English sort of thing. So it might go into a hedgehog type position. That's what it's kind of looking like now. I'll go probably ahead and play e4, maybe bishop to e2. Another idea is I could just play g3, get my bishop fianchettoed on this diagonal here. But I think I actually like I don't know, e4 might be better. That might be better I think for me. We'll see. Okay. e4. And then bishop to e2. Yep. Castles. Rook to c1, maybe b3. No, not b3. a3 maybe. Problem with this position is it's just tough to get anything done. Black just sets up this position and it's like nobody can really do anything. Like white has this supposedly strong center here, but it's not actually achieving a whole lot. Oh, okay. I guess I just blundered a pawn. That'll probably help make things more interesting. I think, I don't know, c5 might not. Well, I imagine he's going to take with the rook. And then c5, probably not a good idea. Maybe just a3. So now I'm down a pawn? Yeah. Okay. e1, c2. Knight e1, I mean. Knight to c2, knight to b4, d4, rook to d2, rook to d1. Yeah, that's probably best. Rook to d2, rook to d1. B4 and b5 is a possibility at some point, but I probably want to try to get him to move his rook off this thing. His bishop can't really do anything right now, so that's pretty good. That doesn't also do a whole lot, except that does prevent me from playing. I guess it kind of messes with me a little bit, but it doesn't do a whole lot otherwise. I think b4 right here, actually. Now's the time. Yeah, now I can kind of do this without having to worry about just getting harassed and stuff. Rook to d1 and take on the d6 pawn. So he's probably going to play d5 here. I might be able to just get an isolated pawn, which would at least that's the best kind of situation you usually want to have. When you're, oh, that's actually pretty excellent for me. Now we're just going to liquidate a lot of pawns here, and I'll have an isolated b pawn, against, I do have to be a little careful here about checkmate issues. So let's see, takes, check, bishop down, bishop to a6, knight to d2, rook to d1. Doesn't work for him. Doesn't work. Excellent. Yeah, it doesn't work. Actually, I can just take his bishop if he tries to do that. Yeah, so he's got check, bishop to here, and bishop to a6, loses to rook, takes a6. That doesn't really do anything except lose a bishop, which I guess is something. And now he's going to have a real tough time putting enough pressure on this f1 square. I mean, he could play, I guess, here, and then, oh no, knight d4, because my knight's here. I've got enough here, I think, and I can just play h2 anyway and just sacrifice the bishop. Which wouldn't be ideal, but in a pinch, that'll work. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. It's, where's he going? Where is he going? Yeah, that's the thing. I shouldn't just say I don't know. It's always bad to just dismiss your opponent's moves as being, like, bad. Because a lot of times that just means you're missing something. I guess okay, he's going knight to e4, knight to d2. I don't really see that doing anything. I'm gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna just go ahead and do it this way. I don't know. You can hit the pawn. I don't really want to fool around too much with this, with getting this pawn because I don't need it. I just want to play like G3 here. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and play G3, and then King to G2 now. Will basically seal the game for me. Basically. So now he's got a lot of issues to deal with. Yeah. Now it's definitely, okay. Cool, and he resigned. So, GG. Let's see what happened here. I think he just lost a piece, didn't he? No, I lost a pawn, actually. And then then he did lose that piece. That's right. Yeah, so here he definitely had a lot better moves. B5 was pretty terrible, actually. That was pretty terrible. Let me just go to edit mode here. Now he definitely, I mean, this would work out a lot better for him. I don't even know if he'd want to do it that way though, because that puts some like pressure on him. I think he might want to just do it this way. And now he trades off a pair of rooks. Now maybe this. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe I had a lot more counterplay. I guess if D5 doesn't work, then he's gonna be. I guess he just loses his pawn. So he really maybe fooling around with a knight like he did was the problem he had. Because actually now, yeah, now that I look at it, I don't see any way for him to protect the D5 pawn. I kind of. Oh, that's right. He can do it this way. That's the same thing, basically. It's the same thing. I mean, it's just a different move order. You know? And if he doesn't do anything like that, then he just loses the D6 pawn. I guess he could have gone like that. At least and forced me to do some stuff like this. But B5 really doesn't help him at all. So that's not really the right way for him to react to it, even if he was going to lose the D6 pawn. So he really need to go back here and basically just not do this knight stuff. He should have just played B6. And then now if I do this, does this work now? Maybe not, I guess. No, that doesn't work either. Wow, so maybe he was in a little bit worse spot than I thought. Not B6, that doesn't work. He should have played just knight to E5 right away. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if this will work. Let's just see. Not B6. Not D5. Yep, that works. Now he's got a space for his bishop to protect the D5 square. So, now he's basically everything's fine for him. And he'd just be up a solid pawn. And I mean, I don't know if I moved there, but he would be up a solid pawn. So that's what he needed to do, is really play knight to E5 right away. I guess he could play. No, I don't think knight to A5 works because that loses him a tempo. Because now it's my tempo, or it's my move in the same position, whereas before it was his move with the pawn on B2. Because now even if he does do this, it doesn't quite work out. Because he's got the same idea here. Yeah, he doesn't have enough time to get this bishop out here. So that's really what he needed to do. And if he had done that, he would have had a very favorable position. It would have been tough for him to win, especially in a blitz game. But I think, well, I don't know. I think this is definitely it might not be a one position, but it's pretty close. I mean, I could maybe try to get it to a rook endgame and draw it or something. Maybe it could draw it, because at these 4 against 3 on the king side, that that can tend to lead to drawing positions, I think. And 2 against 2 on the queen side, so it's not like he's got past pawns to work with really or anything like that. Um, so I mean, but I think that's definitely a good position for him. As far as on my end goes, uh, this is a pretty classic thing where you have to worry about when you have a pawn on e4 and you're pinning, or so-called, you think you're pinning the f6 knight. You have to watch out for the knight exposing this thing and doing this long variation where black comes out ahead, which is basically what happened in the game. Castles. I think he could have maybe done even a move earlier. Now basically, if I take the knight, he takes the bishop. Actually, I guess this isn't the worst position in the world. That might have been even better. But I don't know about that. Yeah. Maybe that wouldn't have been that good for him. Maybe that's what I should have done. Now it's even material. He's got a pin, but his development's a little backward. It's not that great. And I should be able to get out of the pin pretty quick, just like queen to b3 here or something. Or queen to c2. Then he's got this knight harassment. Maybe just queen to d4 if his queen moves or something. Like if he moves queen to g5. No, queen to d4 would probably be pretty bad. Say I just lose the queen. But something like that. Let's see. Otherwise, what happened? I kind of took this without calculating, and then yeah, he can take the knight, attacking the queen. I take the queen. He takes this, and now the only thing I can do is like something like this if I wanted to save my piece. But then he gets this extra pawn here. Maybe, and I don't think he's gonna get trapped. I guess I could try to trap him. Maybe that would be not such a bad move, actually. Oh, that doesn't work at all. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, yeah, that doesn't work at all, because then I just take this thing. Wow, so maybe actually I really misjudged that position. Maybe I could have done a lot better here, just by playing bishop to b6 and trapping his knight. Because he can't really get out anywhere. If he takes this thing, he's never getting out. After a4. What's he gonna do? e5? That actually might work. No, I think I can just play rook a. Yeah, it's pretty quick here. Rook to a2. Now he's trapped. And bishop to e6 to help him get this thing just doesn't matter. Wow, so I actually could have gone up a piece here. Which is pretty interesting because I just assumed that I had played correctly at this point, but obviously I haven't. I hadn't. So I had like 2 options here. It's just, I mean, good to notice. Good to note. Yeah, because at this stage, I guess, yeah, at this stage he has to, I mean, if he takes the bishop here, he'll lose the knight anyway. And, so I think he's kind of, at this point, he's lost a piece. Which is I mean, that's very important to know. I guess the reason he loses it is because, this pawn's on c4, which I think in a lot of times in these types of positions it's not. Or maybe it's because he doesn't have a thing on d5. You know, usually in these kind of positions, when they do this tactic, the knight can get out, but maybe he's like a move behind or something. I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's really, I don't know. And I can even go over here as well. I don't have to go to b6. Oh, maybe you can just do that. Maybe that's a move. Yeah, that would work. Now, can I up the pressure on this? On, by something like this. Now he might be in trouble again. D5. Takes. Now I got this thing. Takes. Takes. D5. Yeah. So actually he ends up. Oh no, that doesn't work either. I don't think. Takes. It works. It works. And then he can get bishop to be. I mean, I guess it's my move, so. Oh, actually, that's kind of a problem for him, isn't it? So now it's wow. Well, there's a lot of different variations that are possible here. I would had no idea that there would be so much in this thing. A2. No, that didn't work. It's rook F to C1 is the important one. Now, can he just play D5 first? This doesn't work so well because his rook is yeah. Hmm. E5 I don't think is gonna cut it because he needs it right away. He just got to get something on C4 right away. I wonder if he could maybe try to untrap it from a different angle here. Well, in this one the bishop's over here. I'm not sure if that's going to be helpful or hurtful. I actually kind of have a feeling it would be. Well, actually, if the bishop comes here, then he can't play knight to A5, so that could actually be pretty helpful. Yeah, I think D5 would be like the only move. Takes. Now he's got knight to C4. Whose move is it? It's White's. You can play rook to A2, knight to C4, takes. Rook to A2. I don't really see why you would do that. I think actually rook F to C1 would still be the move here, just to threaten to capture this pawn, so I would get my pawn back. And he doesn't really have to allow that. He could just play this. There's not much else to do besides that. No, at this stage, it might not be worth my while to. In fact, I think it would definitely not be worth a while to take the knight. So, if this doesn't work, then rook to FC1, rook F to C1 might probably is not going to be the move to make either. And actually, this whole line might not be good to get into. So I think actually he can get out of it this way. And whether the bishop's over here or over here is irrelevant. So I guess maybe that's why it got so complicated. I missed like the simplest move, which is just D5. And after D5, he can save his piece. I think. No, I mean that looks pretty. I think that looks pretty solid as far as my analysis goes. D5. There's nothing else he can do. Nothing else I can do. What about knight to E5? No, his knight's protecting. Knight to D2. I think he's just got enough now. Bishop to E6. Knight to A2. It's just not enough. So I mean that's pretty interesting though. At least I think so. Um. So in the end, I think the best variation I had, I'm not sure if I remember this really correctly, but was actually this one, which is pretty much what happened in the game. No, this wasn't the best. This wasn't the best. It was just taking the knight, I think. Right? Am I still down a piece though here? That's right, and then I get this D6 pawn. I mean that might be the best. That gets pretty. I mean he guys just well that's not really a great move on his part. B6 even might be alright. Oh, and I don't think B6 is that Well, it might be, but he's probably got something better than that. Actually, b6 is probably not so bad. If I do that. No, b6 is pretty bad. Because, oh, maybe, I'm gonna go back now. Maybe it's not. He's got this move then. Yeah. And now I just lose this piece. There's nothing I can do, except maybe like that. No. Yeah, that's it. I lose the piece. So yeah, b6 actually is good. That's okay, good. b6 works, and I think b6 is better than queen to e7, because now I just can't take it, and he'll be able to play bishop to b7. I'd probably just have to play something like queen to c2, after which he could play like knight to d4, and then I'd have to play like queen to c3. No, I can't play that. I'd have to play, I might not have to play queen to c2. But I mean, I do need to do something about that. And then, I guess now I can do that. Yeah. So I wouldn't have to play queen to c2, but I think it would be. But I mean, this position he's up a pawn with some mild weakness over on his queen side. I guess that's pretty bad weakness, and I also can take this right now. So this actually might be good for me, weirdly enough. So that might have been the position I needed to aim for. Which is pretty interesting all in all, I think. Okay, well I think that's quite a bit of analysis here. This is definitely like a key moment in the game where both of us sort of decided to go into this trade thing. Yeah. And it ended up being good for him to a certain degree. But he kind of mishandled playing it after that. I'm gonna kind of get lost in all these variations here. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, he needed to play knight to e7 right away. Knight to e7, and then knight to b6, so he could play bishop to b7 and go a healthy pawn up. And then he probably would have had a pretty decent chance at winning the endgame. Though, I mean, I'm pretty good at endgame, so. Alright, well, thanks for watching.